Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Meeting of the Mad Hares. We are continuing our discussion of Year of the Black Rainbow. I am joined by Concert Cruiser,
Great to be back.
a physically here, but possibly not mentally, Grumpy Cobalt,
Hi.
and Rusty Helm.
Hey yo.
Okay. Because life happens and we are all grown, functioning adults, we actually had taken off a couple weeks for this one. So our reading got extended by a couple of chapters. We are now going to be covering chapters. What was it? 2 through 6.
Correct.
Yes. Okay. Oh my gosh, the blood and gore continues.
Yeah, I was wondering when you were going to notice that.
Uh,
Although I will say, with chapter 2, it did not start like how I thought it was going to. Like, I thought we were going to see continuation of Ko and Cam, but no, we went from that to Evil Dead and Bob Ross.
oh Lord.
It's like,
Yeah, it's like I was reading that. I was like, what the heck am I reading here? It's like, not so much like the horror factor, just the abstract. Like, seriously, I was like, what am I reading? It's like I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around it.
it's like,
And like, what is this guy painting? Is he like painting the galaxy or something?
It's like he was painting like what felt like a moving picture with like a blood and screaming and agony. It's like,
Yeah, because what I was wondering what was going on is what he was painting was what was happening, like down on in one of the planets of the key work or something.
yeah, it's like I was thinking like, is what he paints like manifests into real life, or is this like a pocket dimension that he's creating? Just like,
I thought it was just
Yeah, like
really fancy ways that he was they were describing the painting he was doing.
which is a possibility. Don't get me wrong. Like we said before, this is all of our first time reading this book, so maybe there's something that we're not familiar with. And keep in mind, like the normal Amory Wars is a graphic novel series. This is just a regular textbook, so maybe there's just some things that just translate differently. Although
maybe.
I will say, calling a critic evil, bravo.
It's like, I don't know, it's like, but like I felt like a lot like when we was reading the description of the painting that Mage Marth, is that his name, was painting.
Hmm.
I was getting oh, I forget the actual time period for the paintings, but like there was like a period where like painting depictions of hell was very popular, and I was like, oh my gosh, this sounds like those paintings. It's like I was trying to
It's
find the
possible.
one in particular.
I think Dante's
Let's see
Inferno.
here.
No,
What
it wasn't Dante's
one thing that came,
Inferno.
one thing that came to my mind was like the way
Oh,
how they were
here's one.
describing the painting.
Here's one. Oops.
I hear a kitty.
Oh yeah, tigers being vocal as ever.
That's kind of what I was thinking when I heard the painting description. This
Oh,
was Rubens is
Yeah,
sent into hell of the damned. Uh,
yeah, that looks about what I envisioned.
You know what this actually reminds me of? Let me pull this up. Uh, get this here. Let's see here. Save the photos. Uh, book club. Yeah, I actually think it might be the exact same thing. This album cover.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, from the band Parkway Drive. This is their album Reverence.
yep, that is the painting from that for that cover.
Hmm.
That was
Yeah,
painted
it's the exact
by.
same thing.
Yep, that was
Yeah,
a
it is.
painting by Peter Paul Rubens, who was a Flemish painter.
Does the name mean
Hmm.
anything? Does the main name mean hell or something?
You mean the
The name of the album, Reverence.
reverence?
Yeah.
The
Well, I mean,
term. Let me actually get the definition for reverence.
I thought reverence was like a revere something or like
Yeah,
honor something or
I'm just kind of
deep
wondering
respect
if the
for
name.
someone or something.
Okay, I thought maybe perhaps the album title had something to do with the album cover
Um,
because that's a
I mean
really good album.
reverence is like a biblical or it's like it can be your words straight. It feels very biblical and like the painting feels biblical just in different ways. So it's like
Hmm.
they might have been trying to have like a biblical theme. They just I don't know. Like they put together some biblical theming in their album or
It's
in their
possible.
cover.
As far as the book goes, getting back to that, is trying to figure out if this painting is, like we said before, was this actually going on in a world, or was this guy just really into violence?
Something that
um,
crossed my mind, something that crossed my mind about like when I was reading about the painting, it reminded me of like in Doctor Who, the War Doctor movie, like when they were describing the painting in that movie.
yeah.
Hmm.
It kind of reminded me of that, like how the Time Lords how their paintings are like either moving or it's like the way how they show that type of their paintings being like either extremely detailed or I'm trying to remember if their paintings actually moved or not, or if it was or if it was just or if the painting was just bigger on the inside.
It's been years since I've seen that episode, so I can't recall it accurately.
But that's reminded me of when I was reading about the painting was like that painting from the Doctor Who movie.
Okay. Like I feel like this was more of seeing fact the mages are kind of like more mystical in their abilities. They do have more abilities than just say regular humans. I felt this was more of like a vision of what was to come because this
Okay.
happened before the Mage Wars actually started because this was right when Ruben or Ryan or whatever that main guy, villain guy's name is.
Well, Hellbrand. Yeah.
This was like right when he became a mage, and right before he started his conquest of power.
Hmm. That actually is a good hypothesis that maybe it was just a vision, because I mean, let's see what's going to happen into the book. I mean, this it is based off of the Amory Wars, so perhaps yeah, that's gonna be happening.
Well, like I felt like it was a vision of the Mage Wars that
Yeah.
concluded in this section. But seeing fact, I have no basis for the Amory Wars. I, from what my
No,
reading of it,
well,
I thought it was like his depiction of the Mage Wars.
well, I should probably rephrase what I mean. What I mean is that maybe there's some other war that's about to happen later in the book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, but it. However, though, with that dialogue between the two characters, do you think this is actually like a Judas analogy they're doing?
I don't know. The further we on we get in, the more I was thinking it's like, is he an Antichrist caricature? Because like I was getting some strong Antichrist characters toward the end of chapter 6.
Yeah, same here.
And we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, people.
Judas,
Uh,
I could also see.
hmm because that's what it really kind of it felt like. For those of you who don't know, Judas is the guy who betrayed Christ and got him crucified, and that's what. It, and I even think at the Last Supper, Jesus said, one of you will betray me,
Mm-hmm.
and I think he said something similar. So it does seem like they were doing a bit of a Judas analogy. But then suddenly the font changes. Like what happened with that? I'm kind of baffled by that.
Font changes usually mean kind of like scene fact. It was like the font change happens at the beginning of chapter 3. This is probably more of, it's like not technically um characters saying uh just talking to each other, or with like in world, as kind of more of a, I would take it more of as like a diegesis, um like voiceover, like
Hmm.
it, like say in a movie you have like that non-character of a narrator basically giving an info dump.
Okay.
Like I
Yeah,
feel like this
because
is like narration that's not like within canon. Like this isn't someone listening to a broadcast or reading a book or actually experiencing this. This is like a overarching narrator giving some more
okay.
information.
Yeah, because I will admit my knowledge about books and the book format is limited. So when I saw that, it threw me off.
Read more. You learn so much.
Me, 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 BTD. But one thing I wanted to point out to you guys here is this location that they bring up called Favor House Atlantic. Well, that's actually the name of a song from Coheed and Cambria, the band that wrote this book. And I did post the song in the book club chat. Did any of you guys actually listen to it?
No, I've been busy this past couple of weeks. Work is trying to kill me.
Nah, but that's actually one of their more popular songs, and again, it's actually based off of something from their book, which was a metaphor that's happened in the singer's life. So just get a little bit of how they write their music.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but after that, we segue into this new scenario with a father and son. Uh, it seems like one's getting ready for a protest, and shut up, hippies. Ugh. They drive me nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, now we find out later that perhaps there's a legit reason to protest, but however, like you're not going to accomplish anything with protesting. It's like, okay, you're out there picketing. Now what? We're making our voices heard. And then what? Did you change anything? Exactly.
And it's like with protests, it's like if you protest here in America, you're heard, but you're often ignored. You protest in some place like China, North Korea, Russia. What happens is pretty much what's in the book.
Yeah. And with the book, Pearl is right, especially nowadays. I mean, protests are really not safe these days. I mean, because regardless of what you're protesting about, if someone makes a loud enough bang, or listen, and by that I mean like the actual sound, someone's gonna think someone has a gun and a riot could start, or at least an uproar.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm afraid I have to agree with Pearl is that a protest, especially in this world, it is not a safe place to be.
Especially with who you're protesting against.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, as we'll find out later.
It's like just from chapter 1 is like, and the weapons in this world, I'm just like, that their basic gun basically does worse than a shotgun at point blank range. You get hit with that, you don't come back from that. You have missing body parts.
Hmm.
Yeah, this has more devastating power than a Magnum
Mm-hmm.
at point blank. It's like
It's just
And
like,
It.
and
I
another thing
want to say like it. I want to say it pretty much has the damage range of like a 50 caliber sniper rifle at point blank.
ooh,
okay.
that's ugly.
Yeah. It's like you get hit with some of this stuff and you're just there's nothing left for you to be buried. Or very little.
Yeah.
Eesh, that's gross. Uh, but the one thing I was trying to figure out though was this protest a distraction?
Um
A distraction for what? I wonder.
I think I may have gotten lost while I was reading, but uh, while I was reading, it seemed like the protest was a distraction for something else that they were doing, but I did not take better notes.
I mean, to me, it's like it just seemed like a bunch of teenagers that were trying to essentially be protesters and be heard and be hippies and
well,
against a.
in the situation, it was like when the protest is happening, it's smack dab in the middle of the Mage Wars where uh Mage Ryan and basically at this point Mage Marth is the only two major contenders who are still like at odds with each other because like I think by this point in time Ryan had already either A killed or B captured and detained all the other mages, so it's basically just Marth who's putting up any fight against him. So they're
Mm.
probably wanting just protesting the general violence that's going on while these two factions are duking it out, and while they're actively doing this, said two factions show up and boom goes a lot of people. Including uh the son of Leonard and Pearl, who I think his name was Joseph.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
was also trying to figure out if Joseph died,
Oh yeah, he
and it
died.
seems okay he is because it seemed like it was kind of up in the air.
Yeah, like it was confirmed straight up, and I think the next chapter.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's like chapter 3 was like from his perspective, and it was like at the end it was showing like his life fading from him as his mother
Mm-hmm.
was holding him, and the next chapter was the parents grieving for their son's loss. So it was confirmed that he was killed.
Yeah.
One thing no parent should ever have to do.
Nope.
Mhm.
Nope.
But are but would you say, but are the mages at war with the humans, and if so, why?
My understanding are the mages are at war with each other.
Yeah,
Mm.
and I think it was mostly with Ryan. I think it was just like the humans were essentially collateral damage.
Yeah. Well, like also
Mm.
because the mages' armies are made up of humans.
Hmm. Yeah, the mages, which you see later in the book, are not they're not gods, but they are higher beings.
Yeah.
Hmm. Let's see here, and I can't help but find this a little bit ironic, but a song is mentioned in the book, but they didn't turn that into an actual song for the album. It's like, really, guys, you had a golden opportunity. It was right there, and you skipped out on it.
Maybe
Because
they'll
so,
do
because
that in a later one.
what's that?
Maybe they'll do it in a later one.
I hope so because it's like you bring up the name of a song and you don't actually write it. Like, okay, sure. Let's see here. Going off more of my notes here. I do have to ask though, like, how do we go from a citadel to a song and now this voice that appears later in the chapter? Like, because I was starting to actually get lost.
Say what you just said again. I think I misheard.
Okay, we how did we go from this citadel that we were just at to a song that was mentioned, and now we just hear some voice that's speaking to someone. Because just the way how this book, or at least this scene, is written, I gotta say, I'm lost. What's going on?
I'm trying to find the citadel you're referring to. Like, who's the characters we're talking about right now? The last Soto standing. Okay, so the last Soto standing. This is Mars' place, my understanding. He thinks he has just ended the Mage Wars by killing Ryan. He's entered his sanctum, and now that they are gone, blah blah blah. He's. Oh, the voice is speaking. That's Ryan. But yeah, that's Marth. Thinking he has won, and then finding out that the person he thought he has ended has exceeded the bounds of what they thought was his limitations and has gained powers to the point of he is basically a demigod at this point.
Oh, okay.
Because the voice booming from everywhere, that's Ryan. Because apparently he has gained the abilities of what they call a tri-mage, which is something of old that's not a thing anymore or shouldn't be a thing anymore. And now he basically just eviscerates Marth. Like, he does not exist anymore. There is nothing left. He is a poof of smoke. Not even that.
Yeah, I think the only thing left is like he's literally a stain on the ground.
He is a red smudge in his sanctum. That is all that is left of him. And good freaking grief.
But I was one to say it's like I was reading Marth and Crom, his general, and I was thinking, well, somebody's a Fire Emblem Awakening fan. And then I was looking at the dates. This book came out in 2010. Fire Emblem Awakening came out in 2012. Dang it!
Maybe someone was a fan of this.
Possibly, but I doubt it.
You never know what some people are fans of and where they get character names from. You never know.
Okay. But I will say though, Lenny and Pearl, they do make a cute couple. Just the way they care about their son, the fact that he's no longer with them.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think Lenny let his son get killed?
Do I think he let him get killed? No.
Because that was something that Pearl said. She believed that Lenny let their son get killed.
Well, do people normally think they're going to get gunned down at a protest? No, but does a mother worry that that is a distinct possibility and therefore don't want her children to go and make it a possibility of it happening? Yes. I don't think Leonard had thought that his son was going to die that day. He had no active thought that that was what was going to happen. He thought his son was expressing himself and stepping out and trying to be his own person and standing up for what he believes in. But do I think that he thought his son was going to die that day? No. But I think every mother worries to the point of, like, there's something bad going on. We need to go get our kid. Too bad that feeling did not happen 20 minutes earlier.
Yeah. Also, I was trying to remember. How old was Joseph?
17.
I think they said it was 20.
I thought he was 17.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought he was like 17. I'm trying to think like, okay, so what age would you say would be like the age for like a parent to like let his son go out to be his own man like this? I mean, it.
For me personally, I would say 25.
So you would be like, I don't care if you've been a legal adult for 6 years, you're not an adult in this house until you're 25.
Well, the reason why I say that is because the human brain doesn't really like stop developing or it doesn't mature until you're roughly 25 years old.
Most of the cognitive functions are good to go at about 16. You get the more finer stuff, but that's also depending on personal experience also that finalizes the aspects of the later brain development. So you kind of have to go and experience life and make some oopsies.
Yeah,
This is true.
and plus, it's like I do remember hearing something like that, but I thought it was like around 28, and it's like I'm personally thinking, okay, so you're going to hold your child back till they're 28. It kind of feels a little late in my personal opinion. It's like I I don't believe in like just thrusting your child out into the world with no backup or like no support or whatever when they're like 18, like some parents have done. But it's like you do have to like let them go out and make their own decisions at some point, preferably
Mhm.
before 28. So
Okay, let's see here. Now, do you think Pearl is going to kill Ryan?
I
She's,
believe that she very much wants to and will very much try to if given the chance.
Mm-hmm.
if given the chance, she would definitely try to murder him.
Now
Because,
Yeah,
whether or not
especially if you kill their kid. I mean, yeah.
oh yeah, she is in
now whether or not
total mama bear mode. And also, this woman, for some ungodly reason, decided to put a stinger on a dragonfly. Like, why? I
Oh,
don't.
what
I
else you
did
gonna do
forget.
with that long tail?
I did forget about that little detail.
I forgot about it until I was like skipping and trying to find Joel's age because I was 95% sure it was mentioned, but I couldn't find it. But like this woman who, for funsies, started randomly just like trying to graft different things onto insects. Oh my gosh, if she had enough time, resources, and she has the rage, she could make a bug that can go in and basically uh, do the equivalent of a exposure to a gimpy plant.
Well, I mean, give her anime money, and she can make her first. She can make the world's first Pokemon.
I'm
Yeah.
talking about I'm talking about using it for revenge. Could you imagine if like she gave a bug the ability, like the stinging capabilities of like a bullet ant, but then it had like the long lasting fence of the gimpy plant. Oh my gosh, this woman would be terrifying.
Yeah, because I'm saying like I'm hesitant to believe that she could pull it off after what Martha and Crom basically tried to do, like blow Ryan to Kingdom Come with artillery and then failing. But it's like with that kind of biology knowledge, she might be able to pull something off. So who knows?
Who knows
Yeah, and
indeed?
dragonflies are actually a bit symbolic within the band as well. It's like one of their logos, at least for their first album. Okay, there we go. And then we go from that to tanks crushing pedestrians.
Hmm. Oh yeah, back to like Russia, China, North Korea um, levels of like what would happen to protesters. Honest, honestly, it's like I was thinking like you do remember what happened last time, right? It's like I was not really expecting the tank to pull that was it China with that tank photo, like with the pedestrian standing in front of the tank.
Yes.
You mean Tiananmen Square?
Yeah, that's in China,
Yeah.
right? Or is that in Taiwan?
Yes. No, it's China.
China. Okay.
Or no, no, yeah, it's in China, not Taiwan.
But yeah, it's like I was thinking, yeah, this is not going to go like that. This is going to be much more streamlined
And
and
just
much more
yeah,
and
go
much
ahead,
more
go ahead.
steamrolling and much more steamrolled.
Mm-hmm. It's yeah, I mean the gore is back again, and with And the thing too is that you got to realize that tanks don't move very fast. So the fact that you guys are like not fast enough to get out of the way of one is like, I'm sorry, but this one's on you.
Well, like this is
Yeah.
a well. One second, I must research.
But again, leave it to protesters and hippies thinking like to not have the brightest heads.
Well, tanks, modern tanks, mind you, I'm just googling, actually can go about 40 to 45 miles per hour. So if he gunned it, they could have trouble getting out of the way.
That is true that they can reach top speeds of 45, but also remember that this is more like parading. So
Yeah,
it's
but
like
still,
I
I don't think there's enough space for them to be moving quickly. And also, there's also that thing of the people who were like all for it pushing the ones who made it out of the way back underneath.
true. I'm just saying like in my mind it was like the tank was cruising at the normal parade speed, and the protesters that were stubborn refused to get out of the way, thinking that the tank would stop. It didn't.
And to be fair, this book did come out in 2010, so we're talking about tech from tank tech from then.
Well, I mean, I think tanks could have reached top speeds of like 40 miles an hour back in 2010.
Okay, then.
But I'm just saying of like I'm just saying of like the
Like World
what you
War
would see
II
in like
tanks could max
parade.
out at 20 to 35 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Tanks can go faster than people can run.
Tanks are essentially the alligators of the artillery world. It's like you wouldn't think that an alligator would book it until you actually see one on land.
Yeah.
It's like I've seen like alligators and crocodiles. Like when they want to, they can book it.
Now I will say when after this moment here with the tanks, I did get lost again, and I wasn't quite sure what the story was trying to tell me. Did you guys get stuck? Can you guys fill me in here?
Okay.
I was trying to understand like what was happening as well, because it's like it seemed like after the protesters were dealt with, whoever remained was like cheering Ryan on, and I think it was like when Ryan was making some sort of speech or whatever. The book was describing like the crowds were like cheering over him, and then the military like essentially shot them for whatever reason.
Okay, so here's my understanding of it. Because when we were introduced to the tank scene, big old massive tank that had just run over protesters. It then had describing soldiers coming up behind, and they had tanks on their backs, and they had basically what looked like fire hose equipment. So when they started they started spraying the crowd with this stuff. So I don't know exactly what was in that stuff, but I think there was like either some really hard liquor or something that made people go a little crazy, but also made them happy.
I don't know.
Here, but we go from that to meeting the priests, and honestly, they seem kind of like a military unit because they have to look identical. They still have their individuality, but they have to be on the same level mentally.
I don't think they have to look identical. I think they just do.
I stand by with what I said. They still kind of seem like a military unit since that's the case. Because it's very because you see like a military force. They all look alike because their uniform. Yeah, they're allowed to have their individuality, but when it comes to battles, they have to basically all be on the same page mentally. Well, to be fair, in the military we do have the Blue Angels, so there's that.
Touche. But like, I don't like. I feel like they like. My holdup of your description is is your terming using have to be instead of like that they just look the same. It's like
Well,
I'm
call it whatever you will. That
to
was just
like
the word that came out of my mouth.
to like outsiders they like because like the wording actually in the book was to an outside eye or individual there is nothing to distinguish one of the primroses from another. Physically they looked identical. They were long lived certainly, but they could die of natural causes or in battle. But who would be mad enough to battle the praise? It's like they just look the same to me. I was like, I'm not digging more into that personally, but it's like
Okay, but what?
I also have the qualms with like seeing them as like a military unit. They because of they don't exactly act like it. We get that definitely from what was that one's name? What was the other one's name?
Start with an
Amabilia.
A, I believe.
She was more of a go-getter. I would classify her more as like a warrior type archetype.
Ambeline.
Ambeline.
Ambelina.
So like she was definitely more gun ho, but we also get the current guardian because like they don't exactly have a hierarchy within their own system. There's like a leader that gets rotated out, and like as a collective, it's like okay, your turn's over, on to the next one. It's like I don't see that as like a fully military thing. It's more of a, I think it more of is like a hive, honestly, with like the queen being rotated out every now and again. Cause, what was the first one's name? Paranoia.
Yeah, I saw the name was like yeah no me too. I was like, that's an interesting name choice.
I'm just like, okay, so we're going to be naming the leader of this supposedly very powerful winged women faction, Paranoia. This is going to end fantastically.
Named after mayonnaise.
This is going to end fantastically.
And what's even more hilariously ironic is that she's the more level-headed, reasonable one.
For now.
Compared to Ambelia, who uses like violence to get her point across.
Well, I mean, okay, so Ambelina, I think, from my understanding, she empathizes more with mankind than, say, Paranoia does. Because she's wanting to be like, I want to go and help them physically. Like, I want to be a hands-on type of aid to these people who are basically getting overrun by this mage who went power crazy. While, Paranoia is, I get the vibe of she's like, let's show them how to help themselves while they're actively dying and or being conquered by this one guy. It's like I like Lena's standpoint more personally, but then again I'm more of like, the hell do you mean he just ran over 4 or 5 protesters at an event and then got everyone else drunk and they started looting around the thing? It's like, yeah, we're going to go and like take care of this guy now because he definitely doesn't need to be in a seat of power.
Yeah, it's like I was getting a little confused with like their stances on things because it seemed at first like Paranoia was more empathetic toward mankind, whereas Ambelina was more dismissive, I guess, of like their either potential or emotions or like them as an individual, and then Ambelina goes on to like wanting to do the direct approach of getting rid of Ryan. Although, do you think that Ambelina was wanting to get rid of Ryan because he was terrorizing the people, or was because she was afraid of what she believed was God's sign that he was angry with them? because this whole because the whole debate on whether or not to help the people was because of the literal Black Rainbow. Roll credits.
Mm-hmm. Um,
Yeah, I was actually wondering if the Black Rainbow was a real thing or was it just a vision?
I feel like it is a real um phenomenon that people are seeing.
Mhm.
Like, I feel like it's an actual thing in the sky. People see it and they're like, that's not normal. Because not
And to
only
give one,
did the Prees mention it, I have blanked on the name of the main character from chapter 1. Uh,
Cam and Co.
yes.
Coheen?
Coheen. Coheen and
like,
Cam both mentioned it as well. It wasn't as blatantly described as the Black Rainbow, but it's kind of like a physical thing in the sky that people can be like, I don't like how that looks.
And then one of them was like mentioned, and then one of them was mentioning like this Black Rainbow was like extremely uh oh, what was the wording that they used? Like extremely prominent or and I was just saying like, almost like it was like extremely important or whatever. Like, you mean like the title of a book?
and that's another thing too. I'm wondering. I'm wondering, like, are we ever going to come back to Coheed and Cambria?
I'm sure we
That's
will.
what I was thinking. I'm pretty sure we will, but it's like I was thinking that too. It's like we're it's like we meet Cam and Co in like chapter 1, and then we go to like 5 chapters without us even mentioning them.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, it's like, see you guys for the final act.
It's
Maybe.
if
like
that's the
were
case.
they? It's like were they just the main characters to the prologue or something? Or
Mm,
Not the prologue, because it was the first chapter, and the first chapter was 57 pages.
well, yeah, but I mean,
it's like the prologue. This book actually did have a prologue, and there was basically general info dumping about the world building.
But yeah, that's where we are at right now in this book. So, let me.
Definitely would be interested to see more about the Prees. I'm very there. Those are like the main ones I'm most interested in, because I cannot get past the whole mental image of the Mystic Elf from Yu-Gi-Oh being basically what these people look like.
Well, I will, minor spoilers here, at least in the Amory Wars saga. I can tell you that Ambelina does actually get involved with an actual fight, uh, basically partners up with a human being and actually helps a fight or a battle.
Like
okay.
I kind of gathered that because like I was just like, huh, this one character's name is Paranoia. Um, am I just like limited in my vocabulary? So I actually looked up Amabella to see if it was like a term for a psychological issue or another kind of like, because like I had the thought of like maybe all these guys are named after mental states or something like that, because paranoia is a mental state of feeling paranoid. And I accidentally like got the character from this book's bio. I'm just like, okay then. I think I just spoiled things for myself, but okay then.
But what's funny is that listening to Paranoia and her sister bicker, it honestly kind of reminded me of Celestia and Luna.
I can see
I
that.
think I think specifically from like season 3, I believe, when the Crystal Empire, when they were debating on how to handle the situation. Because I remember Luna was wanting to be more hands on, and Celestia was more hands off.
Oh yeah, you're right. Actually,
Yeah. I was thinking, this feels oddly familiar.
And this came out before My Little Pony too.
Uh season 3, I believe, actually came out in 2011, I believe.
Yeah, and this book came out in 2010.
Yeah. So
Okay,
I don't
now as
know.
far as what to read next, I can tell you chapter 7 is 12 pages long.
Well, let me just look at the table of contents because I figured out how to work this app finally. Um,
Yay!
Yay! Uh, let's see, chapter 10. Let's go to chapter 10 because that's 4 chapters and that's roughly 60 pages.
All right.
All right.
Okay, cool. Everyone good with that?
Yeah, so what do you guys think so far?
I'm
ready for
definitely
the
intrigued with
plot.
it.
It's like we have a good setup of like the internal conflict of power hungry guy who is definitely a archetype type of the Antichrist. It just became full on powerful, and now we're having to figure out, okay, who's going to take this guy down.
Yeah, it's like either Antichrist or I've seen like a lot of God wannabe uh archetypes in media. Which, I mean, I know that Ryan's like actively defying against God, like he's actively like, lashing out, like, where are you? Like, why aren't you stopping me? It's like, are you really all that? Like, outright challenging him. So it's like I can definitely see a lot of Antichrist uh, vibes coming from him.
Yeah.
All right. So we have the next 3 chapters, 60 pages. Let's see where it goes.
Yeah, I was curious. Grumpy, sorry. Uh, I know that you weren't gonna say much on this time around, but did you have any like thoughts on what we were reading so far?
Nope, not particularly. Y'all pretty much
Okay.
covered it, so I appreciate you asking.
Hopefully
Well,
next week you'll be feeling better. I know the weather has been murder on your sinuses.
Gosh, feeling normal. I would love to feel like that.
I would like to feel normal too, but I have been dying at work.
Mm.
Okay.
I miss feeling young and being able to stay up till midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning
I miss
with
my
no issues.
20s. Where I could stay up until 3 in the morning and not feel a negative repercussion for days afterwards.
Stay up at like 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, wake up at 6 and feel fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay then. I hope everyone has had a wonderful time, and we will continue our discussion of the Year of the Black Rainbow next time. Hopefully, it won't be 3 weeks down the road. Pray it doesn't. I would like to get back on my normal schedule. Okay. Thank you all for joining us, and we'll see y'all next time. Bye bye.
Take care.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.